The asphalt paving specialist at LeeBoy. I'm joined by Chris Broom here on the front row with also with LeeBoy. He's our senior product manager. I'll talk a little bit to you today about what we've got going on innovation-wise at LeeBoy. As you can see through some of these videos that we've got here, our electric paver that you might have seen yesterday and we'll see again this afternoon on the demo lot just really touches the tip of what we've got going on at LeeBoy. Now, I think it's important when we talk about innovation to define what is innovation. Is innovation a new engine that is energy efficient or tier 4 good for the environment? That's really more of a regulation and not an innovation. Innovation would be an engine that you don't have to regen. That would be innovation, okay? As Henry Ford said, if I would have asked the traveling public in the early 1900s what they needed in transportation, they would have said a faster horse. So it's dependent on us at LeeBoy to talk to you guys about what you need in a new paver. So for the next couple minutes, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we've got going on at LeeBoy, and really if you've got any questions, we're here to answer those questions or any comments. So if you followed us on Facebook for the last year, you've seen the posts of the 8520C electric paver. Now in a nutshell, it's exactly like our regular 8520C, which has been our #1 selling paver for 6, 8, 10 years now, okay? All we've done is taken out the Kubota engine and put a GE battery power plant in there. But if you followed us on Facebook, and if you haven't followed us on Facebook, I invite you to go and look at these posts that we put in there and just be entertained. So, you know, if you look at those posts and you think about what we're trying to do, maybe we should change some of our slogans to equipment designed with the politicians in mind. Or maybe the mainstream media in mind. Or equipment designed with the majority of the contractors in mind. No, we are designed with a paving professional in mind, which means that we want to reach out and give options to everybody in the field. Is this electric paver for everybody? Absolutely not. The biggest question that we get is, how long will it run? Well, that's a fair question. But if I told you it will run 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, you'd say, well, I paved more than that. We would rather show you how much tonnage you can put down with an electric paver and then decide if it's right for you. It's really, we're looking at about 300 tons per charge with this paver. But I don't want to be the judge of this piece of equipment. Let's see what the critics are saying about this. What's the popular response about this machine? No offense, LeeBoy, I will never buy an electric paver. I'll get out of paving before I do that. He might as well have said, I'll kill my wife's cat before I buy a paver from you. What else? I just read the specs, 200 to 300 tons. Why would they make a commercial paver electric? They should have just made the 8515 if it only puts down 200 to 300 tons. We're a bunch of idiots. Why would anybody do this? Next, you just have to buy 3 of them and switch them out during the day. Oh, sorry, I forgot. LOL. Just bring the diesel generator to charge it after 5 hours. Nothing to see if it's only good for 200 or 300 tons. For the average contractor, that is spot on. If you had to stop using this paver after 200 or 300 tons, you'd go out of business. But I will tell you that there's municipalities, there's contractors, and there's state agencies that will get use out of this electric paver. If you read the comments, you'd swear that our engineers had lost their mind and we should be going out of business. Okay, we're not replacing the diesel powered 8520. We are giving another option to the paving public, okay? In addition, you also might have saw our RB50 broom, which we have had for decades out. Again, we've replaced the engine with a GE power plant that, again, will give you enough runtime typically on a broom to get you through the day. Okay, the challenge that you're going to have here is that you'll find a charging source out in the field to charge these, because let's face it, the only time a broom sees a contractor's yard is the day it's delivered. Okay, it's out in the field after that. So the challenge will be is to have some way. There are many solutions out there for this, and many that are being marketed and subsidized to have a charging solution that is mobile out in the field. Okay, this is the infrastructure that you're really looking at. As you can see right here, this is one of the charging stations that we've used. Now, going back to our Facebook post, we got blasted on this because we're charging our unit with a diesel generator, right? No, this is a portable charging station that has been charged typically over the weekend. Okay, take to your job site, plug in your Mini X, your paver, your broom, whatever you've got on site will be able to hold the charge all week. These are being marketed really strongly to the rental companies across the US. So these are now readily available. Now, the charging infrastructure, there's really 3 levels of charging. Level 3 charge is the fastest charge. You can come back to 100% in typically 30 to 45 minutes. So take a break for lunch, take a break while you're waiting on your trucks, you can bring it back to full charge. That's typically, if anybody is familiar with the Tesla superchargers, that's what this is, okay? Then you've got a level 2 charger, which is typically your overnight chargers. That's your home chargers that you'll get about 10% charge every hour. So those are overnight chargers, and of course you've got your shop power that you need here. The level 1 charger is basically your phone charger that will bring it to a full charge over a month's time. So level 2 and level 3 are what you're going to see typically in the infrastructure in the field with the advent of electric units. Now, I want to spend a lot of time talking about our Maximizer electric distributor truck. Now, this falls into a different category because there are no lithium-ion batteries on board to charge this. What you're going to do with the with the Maximizer electric station is typically you'll come in at the end of the job, fill up from the refinery or from your holding tank with emulsion or even AC that is already preheated to temperature. Okay, you'll come to your shop, plug it into a dedicated charging station. Okay, plug it in. There's burners. There's electric burners through tubes that are 6 kW a piece. So you've got 12 kW maintaining that temperature overnight. You put it in at 170 degrees. You set your process heating box to 170 degrees, and it's going to thermostatically control that overnight. Okay, next morning, come in, unplug from your shore power, plug into a onboard generator, and you're ready to go. Where's your advantage here is typically, from what we understand, that if you've got material that's sat overnight, your guy has to come in an hour and a half, 2 hours early, turn on your burners, mix that material, and get it up to where it's to temperature to spray for the day. With our electric system, you'll be able to be at temperature, ready to leave the shop immediately. So what you've got here as far as infrastructure goes, you can see the back of the machine, no diesel burners, no exhaust. All you have is 2 heat strips that are at the very bottom of your tank. Okay, they only need about 60 gallons of material to cover those burners, so you can heat a minimum amount of material. On board, you've got your process heating plugged into your power here, to your shore power. When you're ready to go for the day, you unplug here, plug in your onboard generator. You're now able to maintain this heat as you're driving down the road, or during the day if you have any kind of, it doesn't even have to be a significant loss of heat, you'll be able to reheat that material up and keep it hot to spec all day. At the end of the day, again, process starts over. Go to the refinery, get your emulsion, you're ready to go for the next day. The great part, there's two advantages here. Number one, taking the time in the morning to be ready to go and not taking those 2 hours to reheat your material. And number two, there's no open flame on this unit. So you've got safety and you've got time, and now you're environmentally friendly because there's no open flame, whether it be diesel fuel or LP. Okay, we've gotten great results off of these. We've got them working in the field and have for probably about 1.5 years now. We started with these. This is the same generator that you'll find on our LeeBoy pavers, about a 15 kW generator. So it's got more than enough power to power those two 6 kW burners at the bottom. Okay, so very popular unit. Really, the upcharge on these is minimal compared to the payback that you'll get. Okay, our next innovative idea is our remote control, typically in this case for our trench paver, our LeeBoy 5300. You can see here, operator can put this around his neck and be able to drive this machine. Now, is he going to want to pave with these remote controls? Well, there'll be times when he can for sure, but what this is really most designed for is loading and unloading this machine, because if you've ever driven a trench paver with the tracks as close as they are, you know it reacts very, very quickly. Long tracks that are close together react quickly. So you'll be able to load this machine from the side, okay, driving up the trailer. Now, one thing to know is that our 5300, as well as our 8616 and 8530, all have pulse pickups in the drive motors. So by design, it's going to drive straight, okay? Unless you turn, okay, it will go in a straight line. So you're able to speed up, slow down, and control this machine as you're loading the paver on the machine. So it's a great safety feature for those. So if you'd like to take a look at this, I'll pass it down to Chris, and he can show you there what's going on. Now, okay, that's for the remote steering. Also, we've got available this year on our 8616 and 8530 is remote screed controls. Okay, so you've got all of your toe point adjustments, even a horn on here, so that your screed operator doesn't have to be standing right on back of the screed to make those adjustments. He can walk around the machine, look at the finished product, and make those adjustments with a remote screed control, okay? It's got a belt loop here, and we'll also have pockets on those machines to keep these. Now, this does not take the place of your wired screed controls. This is just an added function for your screed man to have. Now, that's again available on the 8616 and 8530 pavers. So we've got those available right there. Now, we have started including telematics on all of our paving systems, okay? So big equipment dealers, big equipment manufacturers have had these for years. JD Link, Comtrax, all those dealers have separate departments that monitor some of these things. This is new to our industry, and we think it's going to be groundbreaking because you can keep in touch with your fleet from anywhere. Now, this is an example that I put up of a machine that we had working. Is an 8608 working in Mobile, Alabama on August 7th, 2023. So we're able to see that on that day, which I went back historically, it was 96 degrees that day. I can see that our hydraulic temperature stayed basically flat the whole day. Okay, engine coolant temperature, same. And then I also monitored engine speed. So anything that can be monitored on board, okay, can be monitored remotely. As you can see here, this is just a quick diagram of all of our equipment, our pavers, graders, brooms, some of our other machines, and everything that you can monitor while on board. Some of these things that are whited out here are just because you're looking at def levels. These machines do not carry def, so you can't monitor that. Engine coolant level, we're not able to monitor as well. But as you can see, you can do these. And where it's going to help you as a contractor is that you can set up alarms either at your place or at the dealer's place to say, you know what, this machine sat idling for 6 hours yesterday. You might want to have to retrain some of your guys to maybe shut the machine off, or why is this machine idling? It's a tattletale both ways, okay? Because we can look at it from our place, and if you call us and you've got a hydraulic issue, we can look on here and say, looks like you got a valve open somewhere. Let's take a look at it. Or we can send our, what we call our crash kit out to your unit to where we can monitor it. So it's really a money-saving option for you going forward. So we're pretty pleased with ours is backed by Track Unit, which is a well-established company that has been working with some of our dealers for many years. All right, the last innovation that I want to show you that we've got coming out is a little less, let's say, groundbreaking and digital, but I think it's important nonetheless, is that we've installed on our 8608 and 8616 track plows. Okay, big paver feature. What I was suggesting to our engineers, that if you could show this at a show like this and catch the attention of the guy that has to clear the tracks after the truck pulls out, it's a slam dunk, okay? So we have installed those track plows just to keep your tracks clear. The result is giving you a better product in the end, okay? Okay, that's it for me. I appreciate you guys standing by, listening to us. If you've got any questions, we'll be out on the demo lot today. We'll also be in our booth number 401. Thanks for your time.